Aqua solution. Stop having multiple borehole for your production. If you're into water business, stop having multiple borehole for your production, right? You get why? A lot of people don't a lot of people don't know about this. But actually having a lot of different boreholes can actually mess your product up. Now, let me explain that. When you have when you have two boreholes that you're using to produce, right? Let's say their depth is 100 feet. Now you started producing, your water has been treated according to the depth and the condition of that water, that particular water you are using, those two boreholes. Your water has been treated. One before water is being treated, there's going to be analysis. So the water has been treated according to the analysis of the two borehole you have. Then suddenly you discover that your production is becoming high. You now say, "Oh yeah, call me Kabiru to come and dig another borehole." Kabiru now goes and dig another two borehole. Now, even if Kabiru tells you that, Baba, na still that same depth na I do, there is no guarantee that that two borehole is going to give you the same quality of water the first two borehole has been giving you. There is no guarantee, because you don't know if there is something in that place. And trust me, within that period, you are not going to bother to start doing analysis. You are just going to flush and join. You are going to flush and link it to the other one. Now, when you link that new borehole to the former one, you have invited problem, because it's like you are treating what you don't know. Now, remember, the first two borehole was treated by what the result of the condition of the water. Now you've joined another borehole into the same system without knowing the condition of that water. So the treatment plant you have will only do what it can do and push the rest into your final tank. Then you produce it. This is why sometimes when you work, maybe let's say you produce during the dry season, your water will be fine. But once it start raining, you start noticing that it's different taste. And people started complaining that your water is having taste, your water is smelling, is smelling drug, it's smelling like gutter. Some people will say it's like well, right? That the water is, sometimes you do analysis with the water, you find out that the water will not pass. Why? Because you have joined different water of different condition together, and you're only using a treatment setup of one condition. So this is the reason why having multiple boreholes is not good. What you should do instead is, when you want to start up a factory and you plan to have multiple borehole, right? Always have that vision that there will always be room for expansion. Don't dig shallow borehole. In that situation, dig industrial. Even if you don't do the major industrial that is above 600 feet, you can do deep shallow. Deep shallow is about 200 to 300 feet. Now, but before that, you're going to do analysis to understand the current situation of the water. So when you do deep shallow or industrial, once you have industrial water in your factory, you're going to have a standard, because any industrial has its own standard. When somebody say, "I'm digging industrial borehole for you," it must be, if they check after the survey, the geological survey, they can tell you, okay, this depth is 400. It doesn't pass that 400. So even if you dig 10 industrial borehole, all of them will be in that 400. That is one thing about industrial. But shallow, some some can be 80, some will be 100 because it's manually done. So the calculation is not always stable, but the industrial is very stable. So now having an industrial borehole has a lot of benefits. When you have an industrial borehole, you have the opportunity to get more huge amount of water flow in your borehole that will not need you having multiple boreholes. No matter what, if you have about 5 industrial borehole, it can serve 20 or 15 of what shallow borehole can do. And how you can go about it, after doing the industrial borehole, remember industrial borehole, you are meeting the real aquifer, the main aquifer. That is the water that never gets dry. When you hit that water, all you just need to do is to get probably a solar 10 horsepower submersible pump, 10 or 15 horsepower submersible pump, put it in there. That one submersible pump alone can give you water flow of about 4 or 5 shallow borehole without drying. Remember, over time shallow borehole used to dry, but that industrial will never dry and with consistent flow. So having that submersible pump, inverter submersible pump, is going to reduce the pressure it will draw from your generator, and you can also decide to put it to the sun. So once as you're producing, the sun will be doing its job while your generator will have, will be release of the stress. So things has changed now. Gone are the days where all these things are done in that old model. These are new era. A lot of things are now out, and we should use it and enjoy it. Yeah. Thank you. See you in my next video. Yeah.